It came after hundreds of rocket attacks on southern Israel by Hamas and after many warnings by Israel. Since the offensive, hundreds of Palestinians have been killed. Despite Israel's conviction that it is only reacting in self-defense, there has been widespread condemnation of their actions. Protests have been taking place in cities around the world, including here in Montreal, for the past 3 weekends. Joining us now to talk about this difficult issue are Beryl Wiseman, editor of the Suburban newspaper and president for the Institute of Public Affairs, and Laith Marouf from Solidarity for Palestinian Human Rights. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's begin with, is there something that could have been done to prevent this from happening? I know it's a difficult question. This has been a long time coming. What do you think about that?
Hamas should have stopped the rocket attacks in Israel. 6,300 rocket attacks since Israel left Gaza in 2005. That was the sole and only reason for the Israeli offensive, and when the bombing stopped, the offensive will stop.
Do you take that into account? What do you think? Is there a way that this could have been prevented?
Well, first of all, I got to correct the facts here. The ceasefire lasted between Hamas and Israel that was negotiated in June 2008, lasted till November 5th, 2008. As the world was watching the U.S. election of Barack Obama, Israel launched an attack on Hamas, killing 6 of their members, of their government members, and that is actually what broke the ceasefire.
But you
in response to that, as the Israeli army bombarded Gaza and as the siege continued, which the ceasefire that was in effect meant that the siege should have been lifted, the starvation of the Palestinian people, this is what Hamas responded to by the rocket fire.
But what would you have...
Just to clarify, during the truce that Egypt did broker, Hamas on 17 occasions sent rockets into Israel. The date that Leith is talking about, Israel did respond in force, but Hamas actually broke it 17 times without an Israeli response. And the official date when the truce ended, which was Christmas Day, Hamas attacked with a great number of rockets.
Let me get in a question here first. Let me get in question. What would you have Israel do with the continuous rocket? Between the official end of the truce on the 19th of December and the beginning of the Israeli offensive on the 27th of December, they're saying something like 300 rocket attacks went in. So what would you have Israel do under those circumstances?
What Israel should do is end the occupation of Palestinian territories, end the apartheid regime that is installed now on the Palestinians that are citizens of Israel, and give equality and dignity to the Palestinian people. This talk about Israel being the weak position, being attacked, is actually really a repetition of propaganda that, this is what Goebbels defined as propaganda. When we continuously talk lies after lies, the Palestinian people are the indigenous population of Palestine. All they're asking for is equality and living in dignity and peace. That is the solution to all of these problems.
Beryl, we do still talk, a lot of people still talk about Israel as occupying power. They do still have an economic blockade going on in Gaza. Do you think that if they lifted that there would be more peace possible in the region?
Well, no, because now, since Laith brought up the question of Goebbels' great line about more people will believe a big lie than a small lie if it's repeated often enough, we've got to correct some things. Israel is not occupying any part of Gaza, nor is it an occupier in the West Bank. Israel is holding land, as many countries have done before, land gained in a war of self-defense.
But there is
Hamas's actions had nothing to do with the Palestinian Authority, legitimate government of the West Bank.
Starving a population of 1.5 million.
I let you talk.
Starving a population of 1.5 million for 2 years.
Leith, let me finish.
Starving a people for 2 years.
That's a lie.
That is what you're saying
now,
is nothing.
Hamas gained power not through an election that was fair, but they killed and terrorized Fatah leaders out of Gaza, so it became a Stalinist one-party vote. The blockades that Israel has put in occasionally by air and road have not stopped Israel from putting in over 200 tons of aid into Gaza every month, more than any other Arab country. And in fact, it was Egypt that blocked its border with Gaza.
Is there a way to get back to peace from here? Because a lot of people are saying that although Israel did have to do something, they may have gone too far because now it's going to be so difficult to get back to the peace process. So how can we go back from here?
We can go back very easily when Israel accepts that they need to have a democracy that represents all the population that is there, when there is equality for the people, when we can end apartheid installed in Israel, and we can end the occupation.
What will that be?
What does that mean is that the Israeli population should give up its privilege, its actual need to be superior to the Palestinian population. They have to become and accept equality. They cannot always demand that they are above the law, that they demand that Palestinians should starve and stay silent. No, the Palestinian people are resisting.
Do you think Israel would be able to?
Israel has already done so. In Israel, there are Palestinian, Muslim, Druze, and Christian judges, diplomats, and members of the parliament. In Israel, Arabic is an official language. In Israel, full social services are given, and in fact, 80% of the social service budget of the West Bank and Gaza was paid for by Israel.
A very difficult and delicate situation. I thank you both for coming in and talking about with us. Laith Marouf and Beryl Wiseman, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tara.
Lise joins us now with another look at weather. So, Lise, not so bad for the next 24 hours, at least, then all downhill from there.